Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we're going to do a reading about atonement and justice. Those are literally the words we have for the first two cards out today. And I'm like kind of shocked a little bit at how well these two cards go together. Somebody's driving really fast by me. I'm impressed. We've got a situation that I think somebody's a little bit shocked at how balanced out everything's going to be after everything seemed like almost like everything was lost. So before I get too far ahead, I'm going to call in spirit, a little bit of wind chime time, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to have to start with actually reading from the book. I don't like to do this too often, but this is too good. So this is Scotty. And happy Sunday, Miss Lynn. How are you? And just like me, Miss Scotty here is of Norse origin, so Norwegian, and she's seen as the underdog. Scotty was a giant and warrior goddess associated with bow hunting, winter, and the mountains. She was a wife, first to Njord and later to Odin, but most noted as being responsible for punishing Loki as atonement for his verbal and sexual abuse of the goddesses by physically scarring him and brutally killing his son. Times was rough, but hey, it was justice. So the foresight that they provide with Scotty is someone needs to make amends. Compensation is due to you. Time to readdress a situation. A long-awaited payment arrives. Resist taking revenge. Take heed of the universal law of cause and effect. Back the underdog as a sure winner. Time to take a strong stand, and an apology is made. That whole blurb is like powerful as shit. And I know it's going to resonate for a decent amount of you because I know there have been several people that have been commenting or getting personal readings from me where it seems like things kind of get off course after you thought you had everything figured out. Hey there, Jimmy. How are you doing? I'm so glad you're here. So I'm really excited because I feel like what I'm about to deliver is a message to basically those that would identify as a light worker or a healer or earth angel. And after a long battle, I feel like we finally have justice coming through in the form of, I think, abundance in multiple ways, not just a financial situation, but you did hear from the Dark Goddess little blurb that there's a repayment that is due, right? Oh gosh, this is difficult. I feel like I gotta go with the Tattoo Tarot. So we'll get some of that, and then I kind of want to go back to the Meta Muse, which is where the Justice card came from. We have the Emperor, the Lovers, the Two of Cups in the reverse, and the Devil kind of coming out sideways here. So we have a breakup or an end to a partnership. This could be a business partnership, but this seems more like a romantic relationship to me, especially because we have the Devil coming out here. And this feels to me like a very strong energy, somebody who knows how to stand up for themselves, but they've dealt with a little bit of an issue in terms of some of their fears or codependencies getting the best of them in communication situations or in a love situation. And I feel like this is somebody getting their shit together. So we do have atonement here, right? But let's see what else comes out. That was whimsical. All right, we have temperance. Yes, somebody should is definitely getting together. Poop in a group situation here. We have temperance, which is all about getting balance in a situation. And I feel like there's a lot of turmoil in this temperance card, a lot more than you would generally find. Usually you have a beautiful angel that's just pouring water from one cup into another, looking all magical. But this feels like pressure. Like somebody had to basically lose everything before they could gain everything that they didn't think they could have. Because now we have the Six of Cups. That's like one of the happiest Six of Cups cards I think I have. There's a little bit of, how do I explain it? There have been times where this little boy's face comes across as almost like scheming, but with this particular reading, I see more like elation, like maybe a little bit of surprise. So we may have a situation where a masculine energy is a little taken aback that somebody is still a fan, and that there's a way to make things balanced out again. So let's get a little more information from the Meta Muse. I can't help but notice the similarity between the Devil and the Emperor here. So I feel like for somebody in particular, the biggest challenge in terms of being able to control the beast within was addressing anger issues or a desire to control the outcome in every situation. Whoever I'm reading for, there was a really critical point where you decided, I can't keep stressing over things that I don't have control over. So I'm going to release it to the universe. Whatever happens, happens. And that's when things started to open up for you. We have the High Priestess coming out sideways. So I feel like there's something you saw before it happened, something you expected to be the case. And what you didn't know is whether or not somebody would be able to see the truth. So it's like when you see a movie 10 years after you saw it originally and you remember 75% of the movie, and you're like pretty confident you know what's going to happen, but then at the very end it's like, oh shit, that's right, that dude was actually like fucking lying the whole time and he came out and like killed the dude and blah blah blah. Whatever it was, there was something here that was still nebulous for you, or is still not entirely clear for you in terms of how this partnership is going to play out. But you do know that there was somebody trying to sabotage the situation. And with the Princess of Wands here clarifying the Emperor and the Devil, I feel like you knew there was a situation that was a little bit too toxic, a little bit too prone to argument for you to really stoke any other discussions. Like you almost felt like you had to remove yourself for somebody else to realize what their own demons were, or what fears or codependencies somebody else needed to deal with, as if they were basically dealing with the same thing that you had just conquered. Because we have, I love this image of the tigers circling her in the background, and it gives me a different vibe almost every time I see it. But what I see here is somebody kind of like nipping at the paws or the feet of the animal in front of them, like, come on, I taught you better. You know how to hunt, and you know that's bullshit over there. Like, back to business. Like, there's something here about guiding someone that you feel like knows better. Ace of Swords. Yeah, you're like, what's that saying? You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You have made the truth very clear. You have tried to be kind about it. You have tried, hello there, moon goddess. You have tried to be supportive while providing this truth because it may have been a little bit brutal. But you also acknowledge that it has to be somebody else's choice. So for some of you, this could be somebody who needs to step away from an addiction that maybe you've already walked away from or conquered. And this, I think we like to maybe be a little bit more in progress with all of our healing, whether it's addiction or not. So the main idea being you are an inspiration to somebody. You have spoken the truth to somebody. And now it's like you're waiting to see if they follow, if they figure it out. How long will it take? We have the moon in the reverse, and this is clarifying temperance. And I don't know why, I just feel like I have to show you these two together. There's a similarity in terms of kind of like a focal point coming down from the bottom and the top. Like somebody is zooming in on a specific detail that you told them and realizing it's like a movie moment. Like the camera zooms in, someone's like, oh, they realize now that there was something you said. Maybe you made a prediction. Maybe you said so and so did XYZ to me or said XYZ to me, and now they're trying to do the same thing to this person that you shared that story with. And it's like setting off some sort of alarm in this person's head, like, oh yeah, I was told that this was going to happen. So now they have to figure out what to do with that information. Are they going to stand up? Are they going to carry the burdens that are not theirs with the 10 of Wands here? The 10 of Wands is an interesting card because this can mean somebody is putting down the burdens that they've been carrying that are not their own, or this can mean that somebody is not quite there yet. Because of the hope that we see in the Six of Cups above it, I feel like somebody has had the realization they know what they can do, but they haven't quite jumped yet. They haven't made that decision final. So maybe there's an important conversation that still needs to happen. All right, we're going to use the gold foil tarot. It's so easy to lose these. They're like a little slippery. We have the Three of Wands. It's so funny because it came out sideways, just like the High Priestess did. And I would say there's some similarity here because there's somebody who is a little bit more insightful than the average individual who maybe has dreams or just like a really good read on people, right? And with the Three of Wands and the High Priestess coming out sideways, it feels like there's something that the High Priestess expects to be a little bit shocking, like kind of like that movie reference I made where you kind of know that it's an interesting or compelling ending, but you can't remember who was the murderer or whatever it is. And we have Judgment in the reverse, the Sun, and the Hanged Man. So somebody already made the wrong decision here with the Judgment in the reverse. Somebody said that they were just fine where they were. Somebody didn't think they needed to make any changes, and they've come to their senses. They see now that there's somebody here who has been messing with them. And now we have the Sun and the Hanged Man to basically confirm there's information that's come to light. The Sun can mean enlightenment, right? Somebody getting a piece of information that changes their perspective. The Hanged Man is quite literally hanging upside down, so he's got a different perspective. It's like somebody had to see things after losing something, and then they could actually realize the truth of the situation. So learning the lesson the hard way is kind of how this is coming out. When they had, I think, been given a warning. But I do think they've learned it. Page of Swords. Somebody is aware of a truth, and it's making them decide that there is no way forward or no way to make the situation better, you know? So if this is an argument with a friend that you both were friends with or a family member that you're both related to, there's something here that's like, wow, that's like a do not pass go, do not collect $200. Like, you did too much there. We have the Nine of Wands clarifying the Ten of Wands. So, yeah, I feel like there's somebody here that was basically looking at this Ten of Wands individual, which is likely you, who I'm reading for, and seeing that they were about to walk away from a situation or put down some sort of burden that they didn't want to deal with anymore, while this other individual was still pretty hell-bent on sacrificing themselves for whatever this was. Well, it seems like they've had the opportunity to see things in a different way. And now they don't want to have, I don't think they want to have anything to do with this. Whatever this thing or person was that they thought was so great. Nine of Cups in the reverse. This might have been something that, you know, a friendship they really treasured, a job they really thought they'd worked hard to achieve and couldn't find anywhere else. There's something here about an illusion dissipating and somebody realizing with this information that they found that this is not what they want and they are not going to continue to build towards something like that. All right, let's get some more information with the Kipper. We have Judication and Great Fortune. Oh, really? Shit, man. What did we start off the reading with? Somebody needs to make amends, and they feel like there's a payment, basically, that needs to be made. And what do we have as the first two cards? Hey, we've made a decision regarding justice, and here's some money for you. Cool. Can I claim this reading? All right, let's get some more for you guys. Tell me why this High Priestess is sideways. Mature man. So maybe the way you acted throughout this situation has earned you some major points. This is giving me vibes of, like, I'm not really getting that this is two individuals. I feel like no matter who you are, you have carried yourself with respect for yourself and for other people as well. You've demonstrated that you are not out for anybody, but you haven't necessarily gotten what's due to you, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you are actually in poverty, but it means that there's something that is still owed to you. So I feel like that's why the High Priestess is sideways. You have had the foresight to help somebody or warn somebody, and it has benefited some situation, and somebody wants to thank you for it. We have Journey, and I feel like in a lot of ways, this is about the spiritual journey. I think there's an acknowledgement on your part that you've gone through something really difficult in a way to make you stronger. because you do realize now that you have become stronger and that helping somebody you care about by also being able to just like step away and let them do whatever is right for themselves has made you feel pretty awesome as well. Official person. So somebody could be receiving a check or some sort of settlement from somebody with a pretty serious title or somebody from the law. But I also feel like in general, this is kind of like what I was just saying with the journey. Somebody has like leveled up because of how you handled the situation. And that's partly why we have this justice card here is there was injustice done to you. And therefore, because you've not taken revenge, if you had the opportunity to do so, now you get the great fortune or the reward for not being a vengeful person. We'll use the beginner tarot and get one more row down here for you guys. Oops. I just like thumbed the high priestess out for you guys, but we'll see if she comes back out. So I got new candles. I don't know if you could see, they're actually like legitimate candles. So I hope you're proud of me. They smell really good. I think it's lavender. Twilight lavender is what it's called. Very soothing. All right, we have the Nine of Swords, kind of hidden energy here. So you may not be aware of some help or assistance that's coming your way after you've had some delays or obstacles in terms of moving away from a difficult situation. We have the Tower. Big change is on the horizon for you. And I feel like you know that there's something that's going to change. You may have, pretty good radar on the energy and feel like, a little bit restless. Like, what is this that's going on? I have no idea. I just know that it's going to be like a big deal. But it's partially because something here hasn't yet been fully like activated. So we have the Prince of Swords, which would be like the Knight of Swords. That's really fast moving energy. So somebody has made the decision, but it hasn't fully activated yet. So there's still something like in progress right now. Thank you. We have the Four of Pentacles. This is clarifying the Sun. So I feel like there's something here that a not very nice energy worked really hard to try to save and not share. So this is like the dark side of the moon. Like nobody really knows what's over there. Somebody tried to hide their dark side, like the dark side of the moon. Like, nope, I'm just a really nice person. I never do anything wrong. So this would be somebody who struggles with accountability. But this did not work out because with the Sun, we know that whatever they were trying to hide, they're sabotaging ways, perhaps. They're trying to frame others as the problem has come to light. And now somebody is basically facing a pretty significant choice. And it looks like there may be a completely different answer because of the Hanged Man here. I'm definitely thinking of you with this, Jimmy. Hello there, Miss Christina. Jills. Oh my God. Today I was in the grocery store and I had to, re-up on the Dr. Pepper. And we had a grocery store clerk capture, like looking at me while I saw that there was my favorite iteration of Dr. Pepper, the cherry kind, like a 12-pack of it. And I was like, and she saw my stupid reaction. So then I had to explain to her why I made such a dumb face. And I don't like to take carts or anything. I just like carry my shit around like an oaf. And so I'm sitting there with like a gallon of milk and like, I don't know, suddenly pasta or whatever it is. And I'm picking up a 12-pack of soda and she's like, do you want a basket or something? I'm like, oh, no. I used to be a server, I got this. And I just like hobble away with my Dr. Pepper, like, no big deal. Total weirdo. Anyways, hi Christina. All right, back to the reading, guys. Sorry. We have a major choice, right? But I don't know if this is your choice. This feels like the person that you have inspired. It could be both of you. Like you both may have to kind of go it alone for a little while in order to get this justice. But I feel like, again, whoever I'm reading for, I feel like you're slightly, like you're a step ahead of somebody that you have helped. This decision could pertain to actually communicating. You may be no contact right now, and they may feel like the timing of their communication is really critical, but they also might just have some fear over how to say what they have to say. Are they going to upset you, you know? Oh no, Jimmy, I'm totally weird, but I love that I'm weird. So, I mean, I feel like the alternative is normal or like boring. And I would much rather be like, memorable. So, yeah, let's all be weird together, you guys. We have the Eight of Wands also kind of indicating, by the way, that there's action that's about to be taken after maybe a period of stagnation. Because this Hanged Man energy can also be about somebody who has had a change in perspective but hasn't yet done the thing that they know they need to do in order to deal with the situation. Yep. Yeah, you know what to do though, Jimmy. I totally have faith in you. You just have to breathe through it. We have the star coming out sideways. I feel like this is a message that sometimes we have to prioritize our own healing to the extent where we leave some things unsaid or some things without closure. And that might mean we never get closure, and that might mean that you create your own closure or that you get it later on down the line. But there's a need to accept things the way that they are, and that you have been able to, in some way, mature from this situation or grow. And if you've been able to help somebody else, great. If you haven't, that's not on you because everyone has free will, right? There's that High Priestess again, you guys. I kind of thought she'd come back out. All right, so we have the High Priestess, the World in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands. So I feel like whoever I'm reading for, you have had maybe some doubts along the way or some frustrations. Maybe you felt a little bit lonely, but you knew that you were following your own wisdom or your own intuition and that things would work out in the end. You just had to try to keep the faith, right? And with the World in the reverse, it's felt almost like it's felt like a movie where you think it's the ending and maybe you're on a bad date or you're hanging out with somebody, you're just kind of like over it. And then they keep adding on with like more at the end of the movie. You're like, I really thought that was the ending scene. Like, I'm ready to go. you know? I feel like with the Knight of Wands, we also have some situation with someone being really kind of impatient is the vibe that I get. But there's also a lot of passion here. So I think you might be dealing with somebody who is maybe a little bit artistic or just somebody who has like a really big heart. I don't get a bad vibe off this Knight of Wands. I get a like kind of like, okay, now that I know, I really do have to do something like right now, you know? All right, we'll do a little bit more, oops, with the Everyday Tarot. Whoop. So we have the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Oh, All right, so I feel like this is the glance at your future here. We have some sort of celebration, possibly a reunion, but there is something about your home life being kind of blessed, maybe with like a little inheritance or promotion, some sort of infusion of things being a little bit easier for you. And I feel like this is also pertaining to your being able to more clearly identify who should be in your soul tribe or your inner social circle and who should not. There's a sense now that you don't have to be defending yourself like this anymore because you know how to just like prevent doing that at all. And you kind of like see shit a mile away now or smell it. So we have the Lovers in reverse and the Queen of Cups. This feels to me like, so the home I grew up in, at the top of the stairs, there was this beautiful like wall hanging, and it had a picture of, I think it was like a dove flying into like a really beautiful sunset. And it said, if you love something or if you love someone, you let them go. Like you don't try to hold people back because you love them. And that's what I'm getting from this is like there's an acceptance here that sometimes you don't have the decision making control, you don't have the ability to play puppeteer, right? So the loving thing to do for somebody is to let them make their own decision with the Lovers in the reverse and not try to. This could be for somebody that's trying to guide their children. There's a sense here that you're leading by example, but not willing to be like a controlling force in somebody's life. You want to inspire instead of demand, right? We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. This is like giving me tough love vibes. So if there's somebody that you've been arguing with lately, I feel like they're unsure of how to deal with this because they haven't really seen you use this tactic before. Maybe they feel like you're really serious about something, or they're taking you more seriously now because you are not just giving in, right? You're not doing what you used to do. And so I feel like it's made somebody kind of like second guess what they thought somebody else in their life was. With the star in the reverse, I feel like they see somebody now as maybe more of a hater or a gatekeeper than somebody that would be supportive or caring about somebody. And it could be because it's a stark contrast to the tough love of just stepping back and letting somebody learn their own lessons versus trying to, maybe somebody else is trying to like force a decision on somebody else. We have the Six of Cups and the Two of Wands in the reverse. I feel like this is somebody realizing that whoever they have these really beautiful memories with, likely the person that I'm reading for, they don't want to chart a course away from you. I feel like this is acknowledging that they may have argued or had some words with you, but they don't want to like not be in your life and they don't want to distance themselves from you any more than they already have. They feel a sense of imbalance in their life right now, and they do feel like a lot of it is because they don't have your love or your advice or your support. And it's kind of demonstrating that the other person that they've been, kind of leaning on is a little bit cold. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Magician. This is giving me like transactional vibes. So, in other words, if somebody had felt that your friendship or your relationship with them was unconditional love, this other person that is trying to provide counsel or trying to make decisions for the person you care about is coming across as controlling and manipulative, especially because you don't do that shit or because you have learned the value of letting somebody make their own decisions. So, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I think you're leading by example and helping somebody else realize what they need to do for their own sanity, probably. Because with this 9 of Wands and 10 of Wands over here, there's definitely some issue that's been causing them anxiety. And with the 2 of Cups in the reverse, I think they're contemplating a breakup or a separation from somebody. All right, let's get some chipper news for you guys from the Zodiac Fortune Telling cards. We're already at like 35 minutes, so we'll call it a day after that. Thank you, Moon Goddess. Oh, hello, Eric. Yes, I agree. I hope you do get that. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone needs to make the effort, but you also have to know when to call it, right? Your advice is appreciated. That's beautiful. So, yeah, sometimes you have to know when it's best just to kind of, bite your tongue or be a little bit quiet about it. But when you do speak up, people do value what you say. This says always doing for others without reward. Goes back to the very beginning with Scotty and the Justice card. There is a repayment due to you basically because you've been a badass and, you made it look good. You are going on a long, safe journey. So maybe you're going to win a vacation somewhere. Maybe somebody wants to take you on a vacation somewhere because you've been such an inspiration to them. There's just some good luck that's coming your way. So I'm stoked for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I'm going to call it and see if I want to do one more reading for you guys. I think I've got one more in me yet today. So I'll see you later.